Welcome, St. Edward students. My name is Naomi Gomez, and I am a volunteer with Tree Folks. I'm here to talk to you today about Tree Folks and what a great opportunity it is to volunteer with them. And I hope you consider doing this by the end. A fun fact about Tree Folks is that due to its volunteers and staff, they have planted over 1 million trees in Central Texas schools, parks, community gardens, green belts, and more. Their goal is to, in the upcoming years, plant another 1 million trees. So today I'm going to talk to you about a little bit about how it got started and who they help, as well as some of the improvements they've made and what you'll be doing when you volunteer, and what finally some of the benefits to the city of Austin and as well as you guys as volunteers. So Tree Folks was first started with the idea of cutting carbon emissions here in Austin by planting trees. And like I said before, they've planted over 1 million trees, and now they typically plant around 150 trees per volunteer session. And they plant Texas native trees like the bur oak, lacy oak, or the mountain laurel. So they started out they started planting these trees in lower income areas. And these areas tended to be areas that the city of Austin ignored when it comes to parks and forestry. So they started planting them in these areas. And they were able to create a healthier environment for that, and parks for that community. And as a result of that, families and children were able to have a place to go in their neighborhood that had access to for free, hang out with friends or just enjoy nature while they were there. So moving on to my next point about some improvements that they have made. In the past, according to Austin Urban Forestry Department, when they had volunteers plant, they had problems because the volunteers would be planting the trees incorrectly, and this would end up killing the trees, and so they would have to go back, dig up the trees, replant them. That took up a lot of time and resources. So, it may seem pretty simple to plant a tree, but there's a lot more to it, like the size, width, and depth of the hole, as well as certain parts, some roots being cut off, and some of the trees being exposed and some not at a certain ground level when you plant it. And so as a result, in response to this, when you volunteer with Tree Folks, they give you about a maximum 20-minute instructional session before you plant on how to properly plant them. And if you refer to your handout, on the bottom right side, there's a diagram that shows you how to properly plant them, and you'll actually be receiving that diagram when you go and volunteer. And now that you're looking at the handout, if you look at the bottom left, you'll see a case of girdling roots, which is something that our volunteers will look for and cut off the thick roots on the plants on the trees before they plant them in the ground, because it can actually wrap around the tree and could kill it. And as a fellow St. Edward student, I know that most of our time is spent in classes or doing work or homework. And any free time that we have, we want to spend it, relaxing or socializing with friends, things like that. But the great thing about Tree Folks is that you can do all of that. You can have fun, be outside, and socialize with, friends or with new people while doing something productive and helping other people and helping the community. Which leads me on to my next point about the advantages to the city of Austin and for you guys as volunteers. So some of the advantages for the city of Austin by planting trees, it helps with stormwater mitigation, cooling the air, shading, and it increases property values, reduces air pollution, and also creates habitat for wildlife. And as I said before, it gives people in the community that don't have places to go, like parks that gives them places to go with their children and families, or new places for joggers to go do exercise or something like that. Some of the advantages for you guys is that, its availability, it's really convenient. It's once a week, every Saturday, for 3 hours in the morning and during the fall and winter seasons. And you get to learn about sustainability and learn how to properly plant a tree. And also they always go to a different location every week. So if you can't make one, based on its location, you can check the websites for next week or a couple weeks after that, and see if you can go to that one or not. There's plenty of options that you can choose from. They also give you refreshments before planting and provide lunch after you're planting. And they provide all the equipment you need, with like gloves or shovels and everything, so you don't have to bring anything with you. I personally think that one of the biggest, benefits from volunteering with tree folks is that you get to plant a tree. So when you come back in a couple of years, you can see how the tree has grown, and it's like a feeling of happiness you get when you see it, knowing that you contributed to planting that tree, and it helps the community, and you're helping people every single time you see it. And another benefit is that it's really easy to sign up for tree folks. Just go to their website and you type your name, your email, and you're good to go. And anybody can volunteer. We've seen families go with their children, friends volunteering, school groups volunteering, or just people by themselves volunteer. And the good thing is, you meet new people and you're socializing, you're having fun, which is similar to some of the things you would be doing, in your free time anyway. But this time, you'll be helping other people in the community that you live and go to school in. So, to conclude, by volunteering for tree folks, you can help build a better environment for the community, and there's benefits of how it impacts Austin, and how you learn how important it is to plant trees here. And I really strongly consider you to think about volunteering with them. Just take 3 hours of your time on one Saturday, 1 week, and just go out and try it. And if planting or nature, being around nature is not really your thing or something, you at least tried it once and you got the experience out of it, and you have a tree that you planted that you can go back to and check it out once it's over the years it's grown. And as my personal experience, I can almost guarantee that you'll enjoy it so much you're going to want to volunteer again. So my vision for the future is to see a prettier, greener, and healthier Austin, thanks to you guys volunteering with tree folks. And if you look at the handout, there's contact information and directions on how to sign up, as well as some upcoming events that you can both participate and volunteer in. I'd like to thank you all for listening, and if there's any questions, I'll be happy to take them now.